Okay, folks. So today we're diving into something pretty wild, and I'm really curious to see what you make of this one.
Yeah, this is a strange one.
We've got this audio file. It's called dot mp3.
That's quite a name.
Yeah, and the name's honestly the least strange thing about it.
Right.
It's basically just a bunch of these repetitive phrases,
Mm.
you know, and the speech is super distorted.
It's really hard to even tell like what language it is, you know?
Yeah, it's kind of unsettling, to be honest.
No.
Let's just play a little clip of it for everybody so you can get a sense of what we're dealing with here.
Okay.
All right, so here's a little snippet
Right.
of dot mp3.
Okay.
So what do we even make of this? I mean, it's just so jumbled up.
Well, I mean, like you said, the distortion is really a big part of it, right? And that could be any number of things.
Right.
I mean, it could be someone messed with it on purpose, or maybe they recorded it on like a really crappy microphone, or it could have just like degraded over time. I mean, audio does that.
Yeah, totally.
But the really interesting part is like, what's underneath that distortion, right? Like, what are they actually saying?
Yeah, exactly. Like what's going on beneath the surface.
Right, because you can kind of pick out some phrases in there, right?
Yeah, you hear like Jesus, and then there's like Volvo and Betty, and even like Vulva, and then like you guard.
Yeah, it's a pretty bizarre mix.
Yeah, it's super weird. So, I mean, like, are these code words?
That's one possibility, right? Like if we assume for a second that this is some kind of coded message, then we can start thinking about ways to crack it.
Right.
So for example, like Volvo, could that be like a substitution cipher where each letter stands for a different letter?
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe it's like a keyword cipher and Volvo is like the key to unlocking the rest of the message.
I don't know. I mean, Volvo just feels so random, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Like, what if it's not code at all? What if these are just like triggers for whoever's speaking?
Ooh, that's interesting.
You know, like maybe these words have some kind of personal meaning for them, like memories or associations.
Right, like they're kind of tapping into something.
Yeah, exactly.
I like that.
Like Jesus, maybe that represents some sort of spiritual thing for them, or like Volvo, maybe that was like their car when they were a kid, or Betty, maybe that was someone they loved.
Yeah, this could be like a form of personal expression, you know, but like masked by all this distortion.
Right. Yeah, like a hidden message.
Mm-hmm.
But then there are those other phrases too, like walking blip and walking boy.
Oh, yeah, those are really interesting.
Yeah, like those seem different from the other words somehow.
They do. It's almost like they're trying to say something about like being anonymous, you know?
Right, like being lost in the crowd.
Exactly. Like walking blip just makes me think of like a tiny dot on a radar screen.
Yeah.
And then walking boy, it's like maybe they're talking about someone young or naive.
Yeah. Or maybe even like being controlled by someone else.
Right, like they don't have agency.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's all these little hints about what they might be feeling or experiencing, but we don't have the whole story.
Yeah, it's like we're getting pieces of a puzzle, but we're missing half of them.
Right. And without more context, it's really hard to know what it all means.
Exactly. We can like guess and analyze and try to apply different theories, but we may never know for sure.
Yeah.
But that's kind of what's so cool about it, right? Like it makes you think.
Totally.
It really shows you the limits of what we can understand sometimes.
Yeah, it's like we're right on the edge of something, but we can't quite grasp it.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got these potential code words and maybe these personal triggers, and then these really evocative phrases that seem to hint at a bigger story.
It's a real head scratcher.
It really is.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think? What's the most likely explanation here?
Honestly, I have no idea. But I think that's part of the fun of it, right? Like
Yeah.
It makes you want to keep digging and see if you can figure it out.
Yeah, for sure. So this is where you come in, listeners.
Yeah.
What do you think is going on here? Do you hear code words, confessions, something else entirely? What would you do next to try and decode this thing? Let us know, because we're stumped.
Yeah, this is a real mystery.
Totally. All right, that's it for this deep dive. Thanks for listening.
Thanks, everyone.
This motherfucking power level. Like dealing with my Jesus, I'm never accepting the use of Vulva and entertain of you, your dear. A Betty was a Vulva and did. You can run with my Jesus. I'm never accepting the use of Vulva and dared and entertain of you, your dear. A Betty was a Vulva. And then my Jesus, I'm never accepting the use of Vulva, but entertain of you, your dear. I'll tell of you, your dear, entertain of you, your dear. A Betty was a Vulva and entertain of you, your dear. But when you get a beard, ever tell him of you your beard, and you can render one with my Jesus of in septimeus of Vulva, and ender tell him of you your beard. Betty was of Vulva. The memory Jesus of you your beard, never in septimeus of Vulva, and ender tell him of you your beard. Betty was of Vulva, and ender tell him of you your beard. Betty was of Vulva, and ender tell him of you your beard. Betty was of Vulva. And you can run with my Jesus of ever in septimeus of Vulva, and ender tell him of you your beard. Betty was of Vulva, and ender tell him of you your beard. Betty was of Vulva. Then when you get a beard, ever tell him of you your beard, and you can run with my Jesus of insectimeus of Vulva, and ender tell him of you your beard. Betty was of Vulva, and ender tell him of you your beard. Never in septimeus of Vulva, and ender tell him of you your beard. Betty was of Vulva, and ender tell him of you your beard. Betty was of Vulva. And you can run with my Jesus of ever in septimeus of Vulva, and ender tell him of you your beard. Betty was of Vulva, and ender tell him of you your beard. Betty was of Vulva, and ender tell him of you your beard. Betty was of Vulva. And you can run with my Jesus of ever in septimeus of Vulva, and ender tell him of you your beard. Betty was of Vulva, and ender tell him of you your beard. Betty was of Vulva. And you can run with my Jesus of ever in septimeus of Vulva, and ender tell him of you your beard. Betty was of Vulva, and ender tell him of you your beard. Betty was of Vulva. Thank you. I'm you on the walking point. Thank you on the walking point with this 101 with my Jesus of in septimeus of Vulva, and ender tell him of you your dear. Betty was of Vulva, and ender tell him of you your dear. Betty was of Vulva. And you can run with my Jesus of ever in septimeus of Vulva, and ender tell him of you your dear. Betty was of Vulva, and ender tell him of you your dear. Betty was of Vulva, and ender tell him of you your dear. Never in septimeus of Vulva, but ender tell him of you your dear. Betty was of Vulva, and ender tell him of you your dear. Betty was of Vulva. I rang you like my buddies once, and I rang you like more of you talking over of and septimeus of Vulva. Of Vulva. Thank you, Death. Of Vulva. To wave it out, you end hell. Of Vulva. Other like Death. To wave it, you tell. Of Vulva. To wave it out, you tell. Of Vulva. To wave it out, you tell. Of Vulva. The wave it out, you tell. Of Vulva. The wave it out, you tell. Of Vulva. The wave it out, you tell. Of Vulva. Vulva. Of Vulva. The wave it out, you tell. Of Vulva and ender tell him you dear. I'm never accepting this of Vulva and ender tell him you dear. Of Betty was of Vulva and ender tell him you dear. Of Betty was of Vulva and ender tell him you dear. Of Betty was of Vulva, and you remember with mother, you remember of Vulva, and you get to run with my Jesus of other insectimeus. But the one you tell of Vulva, the way that you tell of Vulva, the wave it out, 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 you tell of Vulva, of Vulva, a Vulva but ender tell of Vulva, a Vulva but ender tell of Vulva. A Vulva but ender tell, 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 you can do a Vulva ender tell, a Vulva. vulva. Is this what to do in a wave you deaf? Now wave it out, you tell. A vulva doing it now, we should go up and doing it now, we should go up and doing it, and 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 we should go up A vulva, the way without you tell. 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 A vulva, ever 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 tell. A vulva, the way without you 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 tell. Of vulva. Of vulva. Of vulva. Thank you.